Hello, I'm going to be talking about the creativity project in today's video. I recorded it all, but I forgot to say this at the beginning, and I really need your help. I would love to know how you are using the creativity project with your kids, or if you got it, how would you use it with your kids? If there's a prompt that you love that you've worked on with kids, please let me know down in the comments below. I want to know how this book is helping you so that I can help my students and so I can help other teachers. Thank you. All right, on to the video. Hi friends, my name is Colby Sharp. I am a fifth grade teacher and I created this book with a bunch of amazing contributors. I am the editor and one of the contributors, and it's out in paperback for the first time after a year and a half. We now have a paperback version of the Creativity Project, and what I love most about that is that hopefully it will mean that it can find its way into more classrooms and into more homes and into more hearts of readers, with it being a lot cheaper in this edition. I thought it would be fun today to share with you, grab my hardcover copy, to share with you 5 of the prompts that I personally have loved using with my students. I've loved using so many of them, but these are just 5 that my students have loved, and it's been so fun to see what they have said. So I guess I'll set the stage by saying how we use this in class. We have copies for kids that they can use if they want at any time. We have a creative start time in the morning where kids use it all the time. Kids will just grab it during writing if they are kind of like looking for a way to spark something. And you know, a lot of them take it home. Can I borrow the Creativity Project, Mr. Sharp? I'm like, yes, of course. So we're using it all the time. My favorite way to use it is when we put it up under the data projector or document camera, and it displays the prompt up on our projector. And what I'll do is I'll just set it down here and I'll be like, open up your writer's notebooks at the next blank page. If you want, you can respond to this prompt. If you'd rather write about something else, you totally can do that as well. Most of the time, most of them choose to write about the prompt. Okay, the very first prompt that I would like to share is the one that I gave my students to do, I think the second day of school, and it's from Victoria Jameson. And it says this: I remember. This one is easy. Set a timer for 5 minutes. At the top of a sheet of paper, write the words, I remember. For 5 minutes, list as many things that you can remember. They can be good memories, bad memories, funny memories, your favorite teacher, holiday, birthday party, etc. Anything goes. Pick one and begin creating. Like so many other teachers, I teach my kids narrative writing, and we do a lot of work in personal narratives. This is a great way for our kids to generate topics. I love having them go and write and see how many things that they can remember. It's also a list that we go back to all the time, and we're adding things throughout the year. If something happens over my weekend or in my life, at the beginning of a day, I'll pull that up on the document, on the projector, and the kids can see me adding to it, just so that they know that we're always adding to the things that we can write about. And then, of course, after they've already done it, I show them John Shu's piece that he did responding to it, and they love that. The second prompt that I want to share with you that I love doing with my kids comes from Peter Brown. And the prompt is just a few words, but I love it, and it makes them create so many amazing things. And the prompt reads, create something that includes a tree looking out of place. And their eyes get really big, and they start to wonder where they're going to put their tree. A lot of them write a story, a wild story about kids on an adventure, and a tree is in this random spot. A lot of my kids choose to draw here, just draw a picture. A lot of them love to use this in writing it as a comic. And it's just so much fun to see their creative minds at work. We often find trees in toilets. We often find trees in oceans. We often find trees in the middle of the road, and they all make for wonderful, wonderful pieces. Number 3 comes from Debbie Redpath Owe, and I had never done this one before this year. And I did it with my kids, and they loved it. Not only did they love it, but I find a lot of times when I sit down to do a writing conference with them in the weeks after, they were still working on it, and they were just making these amazing stories that were blowing my mind, and I think they were blowing their own minds. Okay, so Debbie's prompt, weird. How could I have not noticed that door before? This was crazy. I reached for the knob. And some of the kids, when they're doing a prompt like this, they'll actually write this down as their first couple of lines. Some kids will start before this. Some kids will start after this. Some kids will take this idea and write something totally different, kind of related or not related at all. It doesn't matter. We just want to get them writing, get them thinking, get them ready to create something awesome-tastic. 4 comes from Linda Sue Park. She threw it off the bridge into the river and watched it disappear downstream. This too is another one that I hadn't tried with kids. I'd seen other teachers try it with kids to amazing results, but I hadn't tried it with kids, and I did, and what they made was phenomenal. A lot of times when we're doing these prompts, I also will respond, and I actually wrote something pretty good, and one of the kids in my class is like, Mr. Sharp, you need to turn that into a book. And it's just fun to see us all working together on the same prompt and having fun and trying different things. Sophie Blackall chose to draw pictures for her response, which the kids love to see. They love to go back and forth between the before and after picture. It's fun. We have a lot of fun with this book. Number 5 comes from Kate Messner. This one is wild because you just get to see their love of history come out. Kids want to get nonfiction books to look up years. Kids want to go on the internet to do some research before they write this. They cannot wait to use this prompt. It goes like this from Kate Messner. The building was 7 stories tall, and the elevator doors closed before I noticed the buttons weren't labeled with floor numbers. Instead, each one was inscribed with a year. 1775, 1850, 1920, 1944, 1962, 1980. The 7th button only said, surprise me. There was nothing to push to make the doors open again, and no option to call for help. I'd have to choose one. They love it. And they push the button in their story, and then the doors open, and they are in a different time period. They are in World War II. They're at Pearl Harbor. Sometimes they take themselves back to September 11th. So much fun. The kids will create something awesome-tastic if we just give them time, if we just give them space, if we give them freedom, and we encourage them to follow their creative hearts. I would love to know how you're using the Creativity Project with your readers, with your writers, with the kids in your life. Please let me know down in the comments below. I'm always looking for new ways to help my own students and new ways to help other teachers use this book that I helped make. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have an awesome-tastic day and happy reading.